All right, this is the Okamoto ACC-6.18DX3 hydraulic surface grinder with the incremental down feed, serial number 45888, new 2012. Has a 6x18 permanent magnetic chuck and an Accurite 2-axis digital readout. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Go walk around here. I obviously got the front end control right up front. Power's on already, I just don't have the oil running yet, or the spindle obviously. Like you mentioned, the Accurite's up high, spindle's up in here. Got a wheel on there. Not much going on this side here. Come to the rear, got your stepper motor, spindle motor, cross feed motor. All three of them are right here. And the various plugins for the dust collector and electromagnetic chuck if you so desire, and coolant system, and yeah, those are the main three. Documentation up here with schematics, operator's manual, and the switchgear panel. It's currently running at low voltage, 220 volts.
Okay.
So yeah, it's hard to do this in sequence, however you want to stand, but I can do a few things straight away. We can fire up the oil, that'd be first, of course. We don't go anywhere without oil. So we get rid of our not ready sign. Just to run the table by itself, I have to have numbers on there, which I do. Speed control is down here. I guess we should just show that first. I'm going to move around here. So
Yeah, let me just get down there real quick since you mentioned it.
Just going to let it go. And we're not feeding, we're not doing anything other than running the table right now, just to show speed. I got the guard on here too. We can show the chuck, remind me. So this thing will go pretty quick too. So. One of them rattling. So I mean, it works good though. It sounds good, looks good. We'll leave it. I got it up close only because I want to be able to go through a cycle. So we're cutting it pretty close here. I'm going to leave that speed right there. Meanwhile, table, of course, is disengaged, obviously. Cross feed is here. We can engage that because I've got it in manual. So the place you want to watch, of course, is up here because that's what they get the one readout for, one axis for this
Oh, it's
guy.
just a single axis?
That's all it is, yeah.
Oh.
Well, because your digital is down here. You're looking at the, the verticals on the display. They only need this for facing, shoulder work, whatever, which is nice to have. They added that to it. That's nice. So that moves. I can zero it out again, I guess. And we can come back over here. What else while we're in the manual mode? I can park the table. That one works. We can try that right away. That takes care of that. The semi-automatic mode, I call it. I'm not sure what they call it, but that lets me into the programming mode. And all I'm going to do is like take off 20 thousandths, vertical. Start with the easy one first, which is vertical either at one side drop or both sides of the table. So I'm going to leave it right there. Just a quick rundown. This is directional. It tells you which way to go with the table. This is electromagnetic, Jesus, get it out, Rob. Electromagnetic chuck with the pot. It does work. It's fully wired, so if anybody wants to convert over from the permanent chuck, not a problem. And demag. This is coarse to fine feed right here. I've got it, everything here is in tenths. So at 10 tenths or 1,000th, we're going to go from coarse to fine. When we get into fine, I'm going to take off 2 tenths at a time on the vertical feed, of course. All this is on the vertical feed. 2 tenths at a time until we zero out. Then the cycle will finish. It'll park itself. In the manual mode, I think I've got pulse generator. No, pulse generator's up here in manual, is that? Yeah, there we go. So there's 1/10. As you can see, I'm just moving it a tenth at a time. Whoa, more than that. Well, I didn't realize it was that tight. Here's 1/10. Yeah, there's 1/10 right there. So, and 5 tenths. That all works nice. One click, 9, 34, 39, and that's it. Oh, then the next one is rapid. So yeah, I can put this anywhere, and That's of course the vertical feed. You can't see the head moving, but you can see the numbers here. That said, the last one on this whole controller is for rapid, which is these three. It'll give me up straight away. And you can see it moving. Now you can see the head moving too if you want to back up. We're flying along here. So. And I'm going to go down. Now down is the two-hand control. It's a safety feature. But I'm going to go down. You see the numbers move, see the wheel move. And so that takes care of these three. This of course is spindle. Oil is already, hydraulics are already running. You'll hear the relay come in. Yep, there's coolant. And if you got a dust collector, that's that. And spark out, we're not running it right now. Like I said, it's 2/10 on the fine. What else? That takes care of that. Course to feed, the chuck, and oh, this is my course feed in 10/10 at a time. So I'm going to feed down at 1,000 at a time until we get to whatever I've got set for course to feed 1,000. That's right. We're going to feed down 1,000 until we get to 1,000. Then we're going to go 2/10 at a time until we hit 0.
Okay.
Just that simple. I'm going to start up. Now I'm going to redo this because I just don't want to start off in a goofy place. I'm just going to reset this. There's a better way to reset it like that. There it is. I thought there was. 20,000. So we're going to come down 20,000s. I'm going to put it in full automatic and we're going to drop down at both ends, and I'll switch this over on the fly at one end. We're going 20. All I have to do is send the table in at this point. It's on automatic. It's just waiting to go. So speed already has been preset. And here's our 18. You see the table, you see the numbers. As you can see, I'm hitting at both ends. I'm dropping down 1,000 to each end. When we get to 1,000, it's going to drop to 2/10, like I said. We're pretty close to it already. As soon as we hit 1,000, it'll slow down. 8, 6, there we go, 10s. 0 out, and home. So that parks. And that lets us get right back into, so we can go a little bit more. Let's go like 50,000 just so we can play. Send the table in again. And we're still dropping at 1,000. Just to show how it works, I'm going to drop it down to 5/10. There it is, 5/10 at a time I'm dropping. On the course feed, mind you. There's 2/10. 8, 6, 4. That's 2/10 again on the course feed. I'm going back up to 1,000. We're hitting at both ends if you notice. I'm going to flip it over. We're only going to hit left side. That's all. And really, while we're at 35, I can just shift over here now. And let's run it down. We'll start the cycle one more time. So we're hitting only at one side. Let's go back to both sides. And let's go from 1,000 to 1,500 per shot. That's full up. That's full course. That's the highest you can go. We're moving right along now. And what else can we play? Oh, we can, and while we're doing this, I don't know if you see my hand, I'm going to turn on a couple of passes on spark out. We didn't have that the last go around. I'll leave the 2/10 on fine feed. We're almost there. But it's still going to convert at 1,000 right there. 2 at a time now. And then you'll see the spark out after it hits 0. There it is. 1, 2, done. So that all works. I'm going to shut spark out off. Spark out off. God, we got it. Now at 20, let's just keep it down. Now I've got those real tight. The dogs are on the left-hand side of the table. We're not going to traverse real far because it would take us forever, but I am going to put it at 20. I'm going to go back into auto. We're going to flip it over to cross-feed control. Now cross-feed is continuous, manual, which lets you have the hand wheel back. But as soon as you use any one of these 3 positions, of course you'll lose the hand wheel. I'm having a hard time speaking today. I don't know why. It's just too much coffee. The step 1, of course, is one at both ends of the feed. It goes both ways. Step 2 is only one side it reverses. It's kind of self-explanatory. And then the pot for how much you want to cross feed incrementally. And there are a couple of home run timers down there in there too, and I haven't played with them, but you can kind of tweak those to work with the inverter drive, and then the pot is the fine tuning as you're running. So we're going to traverse grind now, and we can, on the fly, we'll play with it again. I'm going to send the table in, get things moving. Now you got to watch this, see, because you really can't see it move. It's really small. The only time you're going to see this whole saddle move is when I go into continuous. But right now, I'm like they're 45, 90, there's 50 thousandths. I'm gonna dial down some, dial way down, I shut it off. See, I just shut it off with the pot. It stopped feeding, the cross feed. I'm gonna come up a little bit, 60, 80, so that's about 20 thousandths. I could back off a little bit. 35, 43, so that's about 8 thousandths, that's all. So, I mean, you get the idea. That's on step 1, which is both ends. Right, let's go over to step 2 now, and I think it's only gonna feed on one side of the table. Now watch the clock, there it is. So we're only feed, again, left side, just like the down feed. Cross feed works the same way. So we get a double pass on our part. And I'm gonna jack it up there again. Now there's no end to this. I'm gonna go to 50%. Like, we're moving a bunch now, it's no big deal. What I'm gonna do now is flip it over on the fly, because if you notice, we haven't even gone far enough to switch over to get our first 1,000 yet. We haven't moved that far, I don't think. But if I go to continuous, then you'll see it move, and you'll see that thing clock constantly. So I did that on the fly and just let her rip. Let me see. See it moving. Now you can see it moving the table, and you can also see it on the numbers. It's constant. And now, because we're finally hitting those traverse dogs for the cross feed, if you stay with this long enough, you'll also see it drop down. Oh, we're still on 1.5 thousand, so I'm going to go back to 1,000th on the down feed. One more hit. We're still on continuous. And I can slow that down a lot, if you notice. I can bring it to a stop if I want. Now it's moving real slow. See up there now? I dialed it down quite a bit. Just moving along real easy. But that is continuous feed. I think it's pretty slow. So that said, now watch, I'm gonna dial it back up so we're moving fast, just so you see the down feed working off the continuous. Our down feed's down to 8 already. Incrementally, this is like an hour cycle, but because I'm moving so fast, it's picking it up. So, I mean, let's let it run out. We're close to our 1,000 transition. And get 3 more hits and we're there. I'm full up right now on continuous. On the 3. This is a traverse grind. And come on, one more. There's our 1. Now we should drop at 2/10. Let's see what happens. There it is, 8. Yep. That works nice. The control works great. So let's finish that off and then we'll fire up the spindle and call it a day here. Let it spark out. No, we're not sparking out. We're still feeding. Here's spark out. I'll leave spark out off. Control works nice. One more hit. And it should park itself. There's 0. Let's see. Think I've got it. There it is. Yeah, perfect. So we'll leave that alone right there. We're at 0. Of course, yep. Next one would be 20 thousandths again. We went through the manual pulse generator. We covered everything. We're done here. All that's left is, besides, in fact, just the spindle. That's all. We can leave oil on. Oh, we can shut oil off, really. I don't even need that running. Here we go. And then I'll fire up oil while it's running, but you won't hear it. And there's the wheel. And here's oil back on with it. You really don't hear the oil. Hydraulic pump sounds really nice. And that runs good, and yeah. Good to go. And we'll wind it down, and that's about it. Oil off, spindle off.
All right.
That's it.
Thank you very much.
Yep.